Welcome to ACF, the online platform for GATE Agriculture Engineering. And this is all about me. Friends, this question I have given you one slide. In one slide, I have shown you the different ways to calculate the power, voltage, resistance, different terms. So this question is little bit linked to that portion. But in this question, I will give you another concept and I will suggest you all to note down that, pause the video and note down that concept in your notebook or your self notes. Here you can read the question. Vegetation bridge is fixed between two resistors and which has the value of 120 ohm. Means resistance value is 120 ohm and the Gauss factor is 2.1. And I will once read the question, after that I will explain each and every term. And the strain in each of the strain gauge is 1.65 into 10 to the power minus 4, and the battery current in the initial balanced condition is 50 milliampere, and sensitivity of load cell in volt per strain it is asking. So friends, you can see that Gauss factor is nothing but change in resistance divided by the resistance. This is the formula for Gauss factor. It is nothing but Gauss factor is change in resistance by total resistance divided by the strain. So friends, here you can see that the total resistance is 120 ohm and the Gauss factor is also given here. So 2.1 Gauss factor is given, and we have to calculate the sensitivity of load cell. Means voltage by strain we have to calculate, and Gauss factor is given to us. So friends, you can see here that for calculating the voltage, we have to voltage formula I have shown you in the previous slide. Voltage is nothing but V is equal to IR. So I is given in the question. You can see that I current is 50 milliampere, and we have to calculate the delta R value, means change in resistance value. So we should simply use the formula for calculating the change in resistance. You can see that delta R is equal to GF into strain into R by 2, because friends, here two resistance are present. So two resistance are present. So both the resistance, you can see here that both the resistance are present in parallel. You can see here in the question that both the resistance are in parallel, because Wheatstone bridge, I think all of you have seen the Wheatstone bridge in your 12th class, that the resistance are present in parallel connection. That's why the net resistance of both the resistances for parallel connection, R net is 1 by R net is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So net resistance is R by 2. So 120 by 2, and delta R you can calculate, that is 2.1 is our Gauss factor, and sigma is nothing but our strain, and R by 2 is our net resistance in parallel. After that friends, sensitivity we have to calculate. Sensitivity is nothing but voltage per unit strain, means V per unit sigma. So V is equal to IR. So I into R. I is given, current is given 50 into 10 to the power minus 3, and resistance is given 126 into sigma. Sigma cancel, then you can get the required sensitivity 6.3. It is unitless. You can see here that 6.3 is the C option. You can see the next question. Firstly, you can see the second question. The type of gasifier which produces nearly tar-free producer gas is dash. Friends, this is co-current gasifier. Means in this type of gasifier in which both the gases and the coal both are moving in the same direction. So the B option is the correct option. After this friends, you can see the above question. Farmer wishes to construct 5 meter cube capacity biogas plant with a cylindrical digester, and the depth of biogas is 5 meter and assume that 1 kg of cow dung produces 0.04 meter cube of gas per day and the bulk density is 1100 kg per meter cube. Equal amount of water on volume basis is added to the dung for slurry and retention period is taken at 40 days and the diameter of digester tank it is asking. So friends, you can see the question and now I will explain you the solution. Here you can see that capacity of biogas plant is 5 meter cube. So you don't have any problem with this, and the depth is given 5 meter and assume that 1 kg of cow dung produces 0.04 meter cube of gas per day. So 1 kg of cow dung produces 0.04 meter cube. So how much amount of cow dung produces 5 meter cube of gas? So divide 5 by 0.04, 125 kg of cow dung will produce 5 meter cube of gas per day. Now friends, volume of digester. Volume of digester is nothing but total weight by bulk density. Friends, total weight you can see here that if equal amount of water on volume basis is added to the dung for slurry, means equal amount of water is added. 125 kg of cow dung is used for generating 5 meter cube of gas and equal amount of water, means 125 kg of again water is used. So 2 into 125 divided by the bulk density is given. Bulk density of slurry is 1100 kg per meter cube. So you should multiply it by 1100. Sorry, by mistake 1140 written here. That is 1100 and you will get the volume of digester. After this friends, the volume of digester is 0.2193 meter cube per day. But here you can see in the question, it is saying that the hydraulic retention period is 40 days. Means for 1 day, the volume is 0.2193. For 40 days, you should multiply it by 40. That is 8.772 meter cube. Now friends, after this, we will got this much volume of gas produced in 40 days. So you can calculate, it is a cylindrical shape digester and the height is, means depth is 5 meter. So pi by 4 d square h. All of you know the volume of digester when it is in cylindrical shape. So you can equate both the volumes and you can calculate the diameter d value, that is 1.495. That is equivalent to 1.52 meter. That is our C option. Now friends, you can see this question. This question is little bit tricky, but it's easy. Single phase 230 volt electric motor while running at 1400 rpm develops a torque of 3.1 Newton meter and the phase angle between the voltage and current is 38 degree and power efficiency of motor is 80%. Amount of electric current drawn by the electrical motor it is asking. Friends, first thing you should do that calculate the how much is the power generated by the motor. You should, the speed is given 1400 rpm and the torque is given 3.1 Newton meter. So all of you know that power developed by motor is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. Friends, here n is 1400 rpm, so divided by 60, so you can get in rps. So 2 pi nt by 60, you will get 454.19 watt. After this friends, it has given the efficiency, motor power efficiency is given. Means how much electrical power produced is used for generating the motor power. Means our electrical power is always greater than the motor power. Our electrical power is the input power and the motor power is the output power. So efficiency is equal to output power by input power. So for calculating the actual power, means input power, you can divide the efficiency, that is 80% 0.8. So you can get the actual power of motor, that is 567.74 watt. After this friends, I have shown you in the previous slide that formula for power formula is V into I into cos theta. Friends, cos theta is nothing but the phase angle 38 degree, and V is nothing but the volt 230 volt, and I means current we have to calculate. We will put all these values, we can get the current, that is 2.470 ampere. Now friends, you see this question, and I think this is the last question of this topic. A flat plate solar collector observer area is 1 into 1.5 meter, means it is in rectangular shape, 1 into 1.5 meter. Solar flux is 850 watt per meter square. On the top cover, indicated solar flux absorbed in the plate is 600 watt per meter square. Ambient temperature is 297. Heat loss coefficient of collector at side, bottom and top, means heat loss coefficient. Suppose one collector is there and it is kept in the atmosphere, then how the heat is lost from that collector? Means from all the sides the heat is lost. Suppose I am standing in the sunlight, means I am standing in the at my terrace, and the sunlights are coming directly to my body. So how the sunlight is coming to my body? It is coming from all the sides. From the top it is coming, from the sides, from the lateral sides it is coming, from the bottom, means at the bottom also it is coming, means from all the sides the sunlight is striking my body. So this is the simple logic in this question. इस क्वेश्चन में सिंपली यही लॉजिक है कि कलेक्टर पे हमारा कैसे हीट लॉस होगा. कलेक्टर जो होगा हमारा टॉप से, बॉटम से, साइड से, means from all direction our collector will lose the heat. So this is the simple logic of this question. After this you can see that collector removal factor is 0.85. Friends, removal factor is nothing but it is a type of efficiency. So collector removal factor is 0.85, and the collector fluid temperature is 333 Kelvin. And it is asking in the first part, useful heat gain for the collector is what? Friends, you can clearly see here, calculate it one by one. Firstly calculate the area, because friends here flux is given. I have told you flux is always in any terms. If flux is given means something by area, means whenever flux is given means it is telling something divided by area. Anything, either magnetic flux, electrical flux, any type of flux it is given means something divided by area. So here solar flux is given, means solar energy per unit area. So area you will calculate firstly. Area is 1 into 1.5 meter square. Solar flux, total indicated solar flux rate means 800 watt per meter square it is given. So 800 into 1.5 you will get 1275 watt. After this, indicated solar flux absorbing rate means what is the absorbing rate of the collector, that is 600 watt per meter square. So 600 into 1.5, that is 900 watt. After this friends, total heat loss coefficient means total what is our total amount of loss is present, means here you can see in the question that the collector is losing heat from all the sides with a specific heat coefficient 0.35, 0.65 and 0.35. So you add all these specific heat coefficients, you add all this, and you should use the formula A into C into delta T. I think all of you know that heat loss can be calculated by 2-3 ways. Here you can see that watt per meter square per Kelvin it has given, means by unit also you can clearly understand that heat loss is given, heat loss per unit area per unit temperature difference. So you should multiply the temperature difference also, you can get 333 minus 297. Here you can see that fluid temperature is given and ambient temperature is given. So temperature difference you should calculate and area you have calculated. So heat loss per unit area per unit temperature difference it has given. So you should multiply the temperature difference and area with the heat loss. then you can get 243 watt. 243 watt is our heat loss from the collector. Now friends, you can see that useful heat gain it is asking in the first part. Friends, here you can see that indicated solar flux absorbed by the absorber plate. Friends, total initially solar flux is coming, that is 850 watt per meter square, but our collector can absorb only 600 watt per meter square of solar energy. Suppose it is similar to that. Suppose someone given me food to eat. Suppose someone given me 4 chapatis to eat, but my capacity is to eat only 3 chapatis. So I will eat only 3 chapatis. Remaining 1 chapati is waste. So only the important thing is, suppose someone asking that what is my capacity, then I will say that my capacity is only 3 chapatis, not 4 chapatis. Means how much given is not important, only how much I have taken that is important. I want to say only this. Means मेरी कितनी कैपेसिटी है वो ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है बकायदे कि हमें कितना दिया जा रहा है. सिमिलरली हियर इन केस ऑफ सोलर कलेक्टर ऑल्सो, the solar flux is given 850 watt per meter square, but the solar collector capacity is only 600 watt per meter square. So we will consider only the 600 watt per meter square, and when you multiply the 600 watt with the area, then area 1.5, then you can get 900 watt. So 900 watt minus 243, that is 657. Here you can clearly see that 900 minus 243 is equal to 657. This is our useful heat gain by the collector. And friends, after that you can see that heat removal factor is given in the question. Means here you can see that heat removal factor, it is similar to our efficiency. So you have to multiply the heat removal factor by the heat gain rate at the collector, and you will get your final answer, that is 558 by 45 watt. After this friends, it is asking what is instantaneous collector efficiency. Friends, I think all of you know that collector efficiency is nothing but how much total solar energy given and how much total solar energy absorbed divided by the how much total solar energy given. So here you can see that we have calculated the total solar energy given is 1275 watt. You can see here 800 into 1.5 is equal to 1275 watt, and our heat gain rate of collector is 558.45 watt. So we should calculate the collector efficiency by taking both the ratio, and we will get the answer, that is 43.80%. Hence the A option. How much I have taught you regarding this topic, that is sufficient to solve all the questions, and I have tried to cover all the GATE previous year questions asked. So you feel confident, and if in one time if you are not able to solve the questions, then you once see the solution, and in second time you again attempt by yourself. Means suppose I am seeing the lectures and I try to solve the questions, but I don't get to solve the question. But don't worry about that, because in first time everyone will feel the same problem. So you should try to understand each and every concept, because when you are sitting in the examination, there you have to take your own decisions, what the formula I will apply, what the concept I will apply. So you, whenever you don't understand something, then you go to remind the video, means go back and again try to understand and try to listen, because until your understanding should not be clear, you can't do well in the GATE examination. And this is all about the renewable energy and this portion. So you don't need to read anything theory more. You can just, wherever you see the questions of this topic, you definitely try to solve it by yourself, and this theory is sufficient to solve the questions. So thank you, that's all, and please subscribe my channel, because your subscriptions will motivate me for further videos. So thank you, that's all once again.